Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's get started. I'm here outside my house. My garden is not that good, but anyways, it does the job. What I needed you to see and know is the differences between monocots and dicots and where to find each of these samples. So this is a tree, for example, neem tree, this one here. And this is, what do you think? Is this a monocot or a dicot? What you need to do is just look at the leaves. It should give you a good idea if this is a monocot or a dicot. If it is parallel, or the veins are parallel, then it is monocot. If it is netted, like this one here, then this is dicot. Of course, a true dicot, which is called also nowadays Dicot. So this is an example of a tree that is a monocot. So what you need to do is just collect a sample, a leaf like this, and just take a picture of it or draw it and then label it. This is the midrib, just like the leaves we had in the lecture. So that's all you needed to do for this particular assignment. I'll show you a monocot. So here is a grass, like below it. So you can just pull any grass here. And if you look at this grass, okay, this is of course herbaceous. It doesn't have a taproot system. As you can see, the root system here is herbaceous or fibrous root system. And also if you look at the veins here, they are parallel, not like that one. That one was netted, this one is parallel, and it's very clear that it is parallel. So they go all straight lines. There are no crossing lines. They are not like a network. And the roots are obviously fibrous root systems. Now if you take a cross section of the stem of this particular grass, you will see that it is also the vascular bundles are scattered. Whereas if you take a cross section of this tree, you will see that it is circular in rings, in order, as you know, phloem outside and xylem inside. Okay, so that's the example, and I just pulled it now. You can go outside, you can have in a pot, and you can see different kinds of trees with their own differences between monocots and dicots. So that's what I need to do from you to do. Also, you could look at the flowers, for example. Here are a few plants that are flowering. This is one is Nerium oleander. Okay, so what you need to do is just look at the number of sepals and petals in this plant. So these are the sepals on the outside, the green ones, or at the bottom, and these are the pink ones are the petals. And inside of this, you find, if it is a perfect plant, you will find also the anthers and the filaments. And if it is not, then you will find only either the sepals or the carpel or the stamen, one of the two. So you just need to count these pink petals, or the number of sepals that you see here, or the number of anthers and filaments. Those are usually clear, and you will know if it is monocot or dicot. Of course, alternatively, you can just take the leaf and you will already can tell if this is a monocot or dicot. It could be parallel, or if it is netted, just like the one I showed you now. So the plants are everywhere, and you can use any plants. It doesn't have to be crops. Any ornamental will do, any grass like this will do. So that's basically what you need to do. It's not complicated, but this explains what needs to be done. I'll show you also examples of other plants, and then I will let you know. I'll let you guess if it is monocot or dicot. So that will be in a moment. Okay. Okay, so here we have an ornamental plant, and I don't want you to remember the names now. I want you just to know to distinguish between the monocots and the dicots, and you can see here if it is netted or parallel. So here is another plant that is what? Monocot or dicot. This is a plant that it's grown in Jabal Akhdar as a crop, and you can look at the beans if it is monocot or dicot. Similarly, this is a very clear plant that you should be able to know, and you should know if it is a dicot or a monocot. Okay, so these are some of the plants that I have here, and you can explore. You can see the grasses are everywhere, even if you cannot tell by the leaves, you can tell by the roots. You can see there is no taproot system in this one, so this will tell you what is this, a monocot or a dicot. Okay, for the flowers, here is a bougainvillea I have. Okay, so the question was if these are actually monocots or dicots, because they have these three. You know what they are? 1, 2, and 3. See, 1, 2, 3. Actually, these are not part of the flower, because if you look at the leaf, it's clearly is a dicot. It's not a monocot. So why this is 3? Actually, these are not part of the flower, as I said. These are called leaf brackets or flower brackets, and they are actually modified leaves. The flower is in the middle. This is the flower, actually the middle one, not the whole thing. So this particular bracket has 3 flowers, so this is considered inflorescence. It's not a single flower. This is the single flower here, and as you can see, if you count the numbers of sepals and petals for this single flower, you'll be able to see that it is actually a dicot, not a monocot. Okay, so this is a rose, and in the rose, you know the rose family, Rosaceae. You can see clearly if this is a monocot or a dicot leaf, right? If it is netted or parallel, it's very clear. All right, and also you can see the number of sepals very clearly. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you counted the number of petals, you'll also reach to the same conclusion. So is this a monocot or a dicot plant?